everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where last time we finally took on our first multiplayer dungeon, the Sastasha Sea Grot. Today, we have arrived here in Gridania, where there is a new job for us, but we're not going to be taking care of it for a little while, because now that we are here in Gridania for plot reasons and going to be staying here to do work, we've got a few things I want to take care of. Namely, there are a whole bunch of new classes that we can pick up here. There's a whole bunch of side quests we can do. And there are leave quests we can do. There are a lot of things that we can do here in Gridania now that we have finally arrived. So we're going to be getting started on exactly that. Today, what we are doing is we're going to be picking up our first of several classes here. It's not going to be a combat class, it's not going to be a crafting class. We're going to be picking up Gridania's local gathering class, the Botanist. The Botanist is very useful, the gathering classes in general are very useful, but Botanist will supply us with a huge chunk of the materials we need for our crafting classes. Especially for the crafters that we're going to pick up here in Gridania. So it seems like a good idea to pick this up first, so it can be well supplied for when we get to the crafters in this area. Alright, heading over to the Botanist Guild, we're going to go ahead and resonate with the Ethernet here, so that we can fast travel here easily. And let's get going to pick up the quest. Looks like the Guildmaster is right over there, tending to the fields. We're going to be heading inside the building. Hello, Lienso. Hello there, and welcome to the Botanist Guild. What brings you here today? Interested in becoming a botanist, are you? Then you've come to the right place. At our guild, you can study under some of the finest botanists in all the realm. An enticing proposition, is it not? So what say you? Would you like to add your name to our roll? Let's do it. Excellent, now you're doubtless eager to dive headlong into the nearest shrubbery, but first a brief explanation of the origins of the Botanist Guild. Our guild boasts a long history. Its roots can be traced back some 500 years to when our nation was still in its infancy. It was around that time that a precursor organization to our own was established to facilitate communion with the elementals. But I suspect you're already confused, not being forest-born. Let me put it in a way that your kind would understand. Alright, slightly barbed comment there. I've mentioned before Gridania is one of the more racist city-states. They're really bad specifically about Keeper of the Moon Makote, which is what Satora is. They're also really bad about Duskwhite Elezen. Elezen are, well, the man we're speaking to right now is an Elezen. I forget exactly what his subspecies is, but the Duskwhite Elezen typically live underground or in the forest. So, not this man, I believe. But the Duskwhite Elezen are treated like shit here as well, which is not great. Now, this comment in particular is not directed specifically at the fact that I'm playing a Keeper of the Moon Makote, but it does fit to kind of play along and assume that that's what's happening, just because Gridania is kind of a pretty shitty place. The Twelve's Wood doesn't belong to man, but almighty beings known as elementals. It is by their leave that we Gridanians dwell here in the forest, and it is by their leave that we receive of its bounty. Ever since mankind settled in the Twelve's Wood, it has been necessary for us to obtain the elementals' permission prior to taking aught from their domain. Historically, this was a rather involved process that only a precious few could actually commune with them. Specifically, those conjurers blessed with the ability to hear the elementals, aptly known as hearers. In order to relay the elementals' will to the botanists in a more timely manner, a new organization was formed with the hearer as its mouth and ears. This organization would eventually evolve to become the Botanist Guild. To this day, the guild employs the services of a hearer who offers guidance to our members, yet this is no longer our organization's sole concern. We also seek to promulgate correct harvesting practices, that is, practices which honor the will of the elementals. And that, my friend, is the story of how our guild came to be. I trust you have a newfound appreciation for the work we do. Now, with all this talk of elementals and communing, mayhap you're wondering whether you're fit to join us. Well, you may cast such doubts aside. You don't need to have been raised as a good little forest-born girl to be a botanist, nor do you need to know the secret forest-born salute. I jest. You just need a healthy respect for nature and the will to learn. If you honestly believe you possess these things, it would be my pleasure to recommend you to our guild master. Please wait a moment while I see to the formalities. Speak to me again when you are ready to begin the enrollment procedures. Alright, let's go ahead and join the Botanist Guild. Ready to enroll in the Botanist Guild, I take it? Indeed. Music to my ears, it will be my pleasure to refer you to Guildmaster Fufucha. Our Guildmaster's knowledge of nature is second to none. One need only witness her uncanny knack for spotting the finest timber to see that hers is a truly God's given talent. It is for this reason that she holds the title of First Botanist. Oh, but you need not be overawed, for she is the kindliest of souls. You'll find the Guildmaster just outside this building. Seek her out and impress upon her your desire to become a botanist. Alright, we did see Fufucha on the way in. She is not too hard to spot. I'm Fufucha, master of this guild. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I take it Leonco has given you an overview of botany already. Well then, I suppose I'd better continue where he left off. All Gridanians may rightly claim to share a close relationship with nature, but none is so intimate as that of the botanist. It is our calling to nurture the natural environment to the mutual benefit of man and wood. But even as nature holds us in her loving embrace, providing for our every need, she is at heart an unsentimental creature, one that will take life just as readily as she gives it. Being a botanist means coming face to face with this uncomfortable truth on a regular basis. Knowing this, do you still wish to walk our path? Indeed, I do. The look in your eyes bespeaks the passion in your heart. Very well, I bid you welcome to the Botanist Guild. To help you on your way, I present you with this hatchet. Take it up and then present yourself to me again. I would assign you your first task as a botanist of the guild. Alright, we got our first hatchet. Let's get this equipped. And then immediately switch to our best available gear. Create a new gear set for botany, and let's see. Where do I want to put that? Right above Fisher, it looks like. I try to keep these a little bit organized so that they're in the same order over here as they are in this bar, just because it's easier for me to know where things are at when they're in a consistent order. But here we go. Got our botanist gear equipped. Let's get started. Fufucha wishes to assign you your first task as a botanist. I see you have your hatchet on you. Very good. A botanist's hatchet is his livelihood. Never forget this. If you fail to keep its blade clean and keen, your efforts will yield you naught but sweat and splinters. But let us see about your first task. Ah yes, to help you grasp the basics of botany, I would ask you to gather 10 pots worth of latex. The forest yields to us many and more resources. It is the botanist's job to know what can be found and where. But if it is latex you require, you would do well to search just outside the Blue Badger Gate or the Yellow Serpent Gate. Seek out the mature trees that stand in those areas, then put your hatchet to use. I wish you well. Alright then, we're going to track down mature trees and harvest them for their materials. So, gathering as a botanist is quite a bit different, as you might guess, than fishing. Fishing is the unique and stand-out gathering job. The other two gatherers, botanists, and we will get to it eventually, mining, have a much more consistent format in how they work. So let's get to it. First, hang on. As we're passing by a mender, might as well, just since I'm thinking about it, go through and repair everything we have. Just to be sure our gear is fully repaired. Looked like it was in good condition already, but I think I may have repaired things off screen at some point. Alright, finding mature trees. Botanists can use hatchets and other cutting tools to log the forest of Eorzea and gather materials for use in crafting. Trees that are primed for logging are known as mature trees. Mature trees are only discernible from other foliage when using the action triangulate. While this action is active, the location of mature trees is displayed on the minimap. Once you have arrived at a mature tree, target and select it to begin logging. Alright, so we use triangulate, and that will pop up every mature tree we can harvest in the area. Starting with this one. As many as 8 different types of items can be found on a single gathering point. Begin gathering by selecting an item from the list that appears after right-clicking we're on controller, we don't have right-click, but okay. Your chances of successfully obtaining the selected item are displayed as a percentage to the right of its icon. Gear with a high gathering rating will improve these chances, but only if your class level is at or above the item level, also displayed to the right of the item icon. An item's position on the list is determined by its type. For example, branches are always found in the 3rd slot. Remembering which type of items are located in which slots will help you when coming across a new type of mature tree. So it's all fairly organized. You will notice there's a little mystery bag icon on the bottom left of each item icon. Down there in the bottom left of the maple log icon, yeah, mystery bag icon on each of those. That indicates we have not picked that up for our gathering log yet. So, let's go ahead and harvest one of everything that we have not yet collected. Collecting things for the first time on our gathering log gives a nice big boost of experience. Ah! We gained 3 levels at once! The armory system not only allows you freedom to change between classes, but also the ability to wield the actions obtained through those Disciple of the Land or Hand classes. To make use of these actions accessible to your current class, start by opening character from the main menu, followed by actions and traits. Next, select the desired class under additional to display a list of available actions. Highlighting the checkbox will add the action to the list at the bottoms of the actions and traits interface. Once an action has been added to the list, select the icon and press the button combination of the hotbar slot to which you wish to set it. At level 10, you'll only be allowed to use a maximum of 2 additional actions. This number will increase every 5 levels up to a maximum of 10 actions. Cool, so we can use our Disciple of Land and Hand abilities while we're playing as our other classes. Handy. A list of items available through Gathering can be viewed by opening the Gathering Log. This feature is accessible via logs in the main menu. Items that you have successfully gathered at least once will appear with a check mark on their icons. Gathering an item for the first time will earn you a special experience point bonus. Certain items can only be obtained in certain areas. To confirm where an item might be found, refer to your gathering log. So yes, we can take a look at everything we can gather from level 1 to 5, and there are quite a few things we can get, scattered quite widely actually across Eorzea. Like right here, Fire Shard. That's we get that from level 30 spots in Middle Enosia. We're not going to be getting that for a while, I think. But we can see lots of other things in areas we can get to right now, so we will be able to mostly fill out our gathering log. Alright, we did pick up a couple new abilities. Arbor Call points us to the nearest low level, I believe, tree we can harvest from. Let's actually check that properly. Surveys the landscape to locate the nearest mature tree or lush vegetation within skill range. Can only be executed while Triangulate is active. Alright. And Field Mastery, another action we got, increases the chance of obtaining items while gathering by 5%. Does not apply to items at 0%. So, slight improvement for 50 GP of your chances to actually get an item. That being said, with a 95% drop rate, sure, we can use it to get a 100% drop rate, but we're basically not going to miss anyway. I mean, we'll miss 1 in 20. Or we would miss 1 in 20. Right, so we're not actually supposed to be gathering branches right now. We're supposed to be looking for latex. My mistake. Then let's get to searching for that latex. Do you have it? Yes, we have latex on I think every mature tree around here. I just wasn't paying attention. You can also pick up earth shards that we use for some of our crafters. And I believe on our gathering log, yeah, we can see that all of the elemental shards that we might need for our various crafters, if you run low, you can harvest them with your gatherers. Alright, we hit level 5, so we are progressing very nicely. Alright, I'm going to move I'm gonna move Triangulate there. Arbor Call can go there. And Field Mastery there. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really use most of my gathering actions. They're helpful bonuses, but they're not necessarily required, generally speaking. Alright, we got all the latex we need, so let's finish off by getting a bunch of earth shards. Not too many earth shards, just what we can. And then we'll head back. Also worth noting, the mature trees are ready to go again pretty quickly. By the time you've finished one trip around those 4 trees, they're basically all ready to go again. Alright, now that we're level 5, let's see, can we equip new gear? Yes, we've got some gear we've picked up from our other crafters. Go ahead and set those. We are now item level 4 still, so still pretty low. Oh well. And Fafucha, I return. How goes the gathering effort? Lest you forget, latex can be had just outside the Blue Badger Gate and the Yellow Serpent Gate. Oh, I got plenty of it, do not worry. Though my inventory is admittedly getting surprisingly full. Ah yes, precisely 10 pots of latex, just as I instructed. You've done well. Latex is easy to find and equally easy to harvest. Not in real life, which is a huge environmental concern, but as such, collecting the stuff is an ideal task for young botanists who are learning their way around a hatchet. Yet know that being able to swing said tool does not make you a botanist. You must also possess the knowledge to locate the resources you seek. That will be all from me for the present. I urge you to keep honing your senses and skills as a botanist. Gather near and far and learn from your experiences. I look forward to seeing you again when you have become better acquainted with our trade. Till then, I bid you happy gathering. Alright, we have finished giving us a Hempen Delmatica, which we already have. And we can sell it. And while we are ready to do the next botanist quest, we're going to be finishing off today by eating food, which I remembered that I had not done in the middle of that cutscene. Oops. Let's see, what's the lowest level gathering food we can eat? We want something that increases our GP, our gathering, or... Here we go, mutton stew. And let's go work on our gathering log. So let's see, we've got ice shards we can collect from the central shroud. So let's head over there first. In the Jadeite Thick. What else can we get while we're there? A few things. It'll just show us what we don't have when we go to gather stuff there. It'll be nice and laid out for us, I suppose. Alright, to get to the Central Shroud, we want to head back to the Aetheryte Plaza. And we're going to be heading down the path this way. Past the Adventurers Guild on our right. And heading out the main gate. Alright, we have reached the Central Shroud. Let's see, we've got a few trees just down here, so this won't be too hard to reach them. Do want to keep an eye out for any enemies that might want to fight us though, because we don't have hide yet. Or sneak, rather. Alright, we've got elegant snails. You can see that there's actually a secondary percentage right there, 4% under elegant snails, 100%. That represents your chance of getting actually an extra item. So when we harvest an elegant snail, since we have a 100% chance of getting it, we will get one, and a 4% chance of getting a second one. We've got Ice Shard, we've got Wind Shard, and I think I'm gonna focus on getting Wind Shards, since we're actually a little really low on those. I forget which crafter uses wind shards, but it's not a bad idea to stock up. Alright, and we got Gatherer's Boon here. What's this about? When gathering, there's a chance of triggering the Gatherer's Boon effect, which will grant an additional item during that gathering attempt. The higher your perception rating, the better chance you have of triggering this effect. Alright, good to know. Alright, next up on our gathering log, we've got the first few shards. We can't really go to Mordona right now. Ooh. That's a ways out. And we're not level 10, so we can't do the Central Thanalin. So let's see. Maple Sap, we can get in North Shroud. Cinnamon in North Shroud. Beehive Chip in North Shroud. So get those three, and I think that'll about do it for what we can reasonably gather at this point. But yeah, we're not going to be going to Mordona until basically the end of A Realm Reborn. I'm surprised that they have low-level gathering spots there. Oh well. Maybe someday we'll get there. But we've got a long game ahead of us. Alright, I believe our closest point to where we want to go is going to be the Conjurer's Guild. It is good to see us in the 5 digits of money finally. Feeling a lot more comfortable about how much cash we have. Did we pick up a ton of that from, Did we pick up a bunch of that from... Oh no! I did not mean to hit minion roulette. Hang on, we had the dog this week. This week we have the dog. Okay, we want to go for Tree Speak, it looks like. And Tree Speak is over here. What was I saying? I interrupted myself when I accidentally bumped the wrong button. Right. I wondered, did we like get most of this money from Sastasha? Because that is a big chunk of money we picked up. Here we go. We got our maple sap. We got our cinnamon. We got our beehive chip. And we'll spend our last hit on the earth shard. And there's Sneak. Awesome. Now we don't have to worry nearly as much about running around here. Also, I think I hit the wrong button. That's 80, 90, 100, I think? Yep, there we go. That's 100. Alright then. With that, our botanist is all caught up with where we need to be. We can equip a bronze hatchet, which we crafted for ourselves as a blacksmith. And next time on Final Fantasy XIV, we're going to get out of this rain, back to the Botanist Guild, and take on our level 5 quest. I will see everyone next time for that.